after Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shared a tweet and a statement on the Air India Kanishka aircraft bombing. Canada's opposition Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has released a statement on the Kanishka aircraft bombing in 1985, which killed as many as 329 people, calling it the worst terror attack. He said that he will honor the memory of the victims and will continue to fight with extremism and terrorism wherever it gears, in fact, it rears its ugly head. He said that he will ensure that Canada remains a beacon of freedom and justice for all. Let's in fact listen in to what he said.
Canada's common sense conservatives remember the worst terrorist attack in our nation's history, which claimed 329 souls, including 280 Canadians traveling aboard Air India Flight 182. 137 children didn't get to see their 18th birthday. Together, we will honor their memory by continuing the fight against extremism and terrorism wherever it rears its ugly head. We will always ensure that Canada remains a beacon of freedom and justice for all. And we join hands with all of you, the friends, family, and loved ones of the victims, in ensuring that their memories live on. On this year's National Day of Remembrance for Victims of Terrorism, attacks on Canadian schools, places of worship, and communities are on the rise. Common sense conservatives will always fight for freedom over fear, hope over hate, and light over darkness.
Okay, so of course, viewers, there you heard it. Meanwhile, joining us at this point of time is Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, International Affairs expert. So thank you so much for speaking to us on NewsX. Now, of course, there was a two-line tweet that was issued by Justin Trudeau, and he in fact termed this attack as a violence, in fact, as extremism is what he said. And there was no mention of Khalistan. So, I mean, with these statements that are coming in, the statements that have now, in fact, been made by Pierre Poilievre, how do you then view these statements that are coming in?
Well, I think, to be precise, this is clearly an act of terrorism, which was carried out against innocent people of Kanishka flight on the 23rd June 1985. And it was one of the deadliest terror attacks in the aviation history. So I think this should be understood in a clear and precise manner. A liberal approach against terrorism will not do any help in combating this menace. And we have seen in Russia just yesterday another terrorist attack happened on 7th October. Last year, Israel came under the biggest terrorist attack. United States of America and India, 9/11, 26/11, we all have a history of it. And this menace is very much there. And this must be challenged. And in order to defeat this menace of terrorism, it is essential for the international community and every responsible nation of the world to understand it, to have a clear understanding about what kind of a threat this poses to the innocent life and the humanity, and then only this can be combated. There must be a zero tolerance approach, in my assessment, against terrorism. There cannot be any compromise. There cannot be any liberal approach towards dealing with this menace, because these terrorists, obviously, they want to carry out their vested propaganda interests by promoting clash of civilization, by promoting hatred, violence, etc., etc. So I think such kind of a negative mindset must be dealt with in a firm and a precise manner, and that is why, as I said, there must be a very clear understanding on this issue. There must not be any liberal approach in the issue of terrorism. But unfortunately, despite facing such kind of very severe terrorist attack like Kanishka bombing, the still Canadian establishment is not very serious about it. That's a very unfortunate part. And the worst kind of victim of this entire approach has been the Canadian citizens themselves. those who are traveling in this Kanishka flight, most of them were Canadian citizens, the Indian Canadian citizens. So I think Canada has gone through the worst phase of its terrorist attack, and despite that, they are still harboring and supporting and defending those terrorists. That's the most unfortunate part, and that weakens the international community's resolve to fight and defeat this threat of terrorism. That is what I would say. I hope that after this kind of commemoration of this Kanishka bombing and remembrance of those who lost their lives in 1985, I hope that there will be some realization and some firm action will be taken by the Canadian side against those who are still, trying to carry out such hatred and violence against India and conspiring hard against India.
Right.
So I think the need of the hour is to take action against these terrorists who are still harboring and residing in the Canadian territory.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.